And thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock, and we want to begin tonight in Fountain Square. This is where the city promised to close a homeless encampment this week. That was supposed to take place on Monday, but tonight, several tents are still standing there. One neighbor told Alex Almanza she is fed up. Alex?
Scott, on July 25th, the city posted notice that the Leonard Street homeless camp would be cleared by August 11th. That deadline came and went. Neighbors woke to the same tents, and they say the same growing health and safety problem. And with them, neighbors say problems like rocks being thrown at homes and people being chased with sticks. One neighbor we spoke with previously says she's selling her home because of the camp. She didn't want her name used, worried it could hurt the sale.
I do believe that they should be forcibly removed because of the health and safety concerns. I am continuing to get threats, and I'm getting harassed when I'm outside in my own yard.
In a statement on Tuesday to 13 News, OPHS says they need more time to work on alternative shelter solutions and, quote, will not force those who remain at the camp to relocate. The office saying that the area is close to camping and no new tents are allowed. Some residents say it's a promise the city never kept.
I would encourage the city to act quicker with the Streets to Home Indy initiative. They need to take action in order to make the neighborhood safer for people like me.
Reverend David Green serves on the Mayor's Leadership Council on Homelessness. He says the city needs to consider more than just clearing tents.
I'm not for forcible removal in terms of adding trauma to people who are already traumatized. So I would like to see this happen in a way that would not be necessary.
Green says within a reasonable time frame, the city can be intentional on getting people help.
In a 90-day window, I believe that every one of those individuals can get housing and get the services that they need.
For now, the tents remain, and neighbors say they're left wondering if anything will really change. And in our visit to the encampment tonight, there were visibly less tents, but still quite a few. Now, OPHS says IMPD will continue patrolling the area and respond to any illegal activity. Scott?
All right, Alex, we'll continue to follow that story. Tonight, for the first time, we are hearing from Indy's top cop on the mayor's budget proposal that was unveiled just 24 hours ago. IMPD Chief Chris Bailey said investments in technology are helping reduce crime across our city. He says the 2026 funding plan is doubling down on those investments. So here's what we're talking about. A $1.7 billion budget. $358 million of that is for IMPD. That's about $20 million more than we had last year. A bulk of that, $290 million, will cover salaries for officers and staff. But department leaders say a good chunk will also go toward that gear, like license plate readers and cameras.
That technology is leading us in the right direction to help give our detectives a leg up when we start those investigations. And the 2026 budget helps us build on the collective momentum and progress that we see, and together we can continue to build and make Indianapolis safer and stronger for every person and every neighborhood in our city.
Right now, IMPD is down 300 officers. Police Chief Bailey also hopes this money will help address that staffing shortage. The full council is expected to vote on this budget in October after committee reviews. Tonight at 11, we want to take a closer look at a new resource for business owners aimed at keeping stolen guns off the streets. We stopped by Gunslingers in Anderson today. Just last week, they got the ability to search a serial number right in the store before someone makes a purchase. So before that, shops had to rely on an unofficial user-submitted website or get a police officer to check the serial number in person to see if a gun was reported stolen. The co-owner of Gunslingers is John Beeman. He's also the Madison County Sheriff. He told us today this is a critical tool changing the secondary market.
Minimizes our exposure to purchasing stolen firearms, and it's another effort to help law enforcement to remove stolen firearms from the street.
I think it's amazing as being a gun owner. One, you never want to be implicated as the one that stole the gun if you do buy a stolen gun. Two, you don't want to lose out on the money. Guns are expensive. And I think it's like safety, keeping guns out of criminals' hands.
That's Ryan Phillips, who told us he turned in 2 stolen Glocks last year. So if a gun shop discovers a firearm has been reported stolen, someone will then contact police and hold on to the gun for an investigation. Tonight at 11, we're getting our first chance to hear from the woman in charge of keeping Indiana students safe in school. Julie Smith is the director for the newly established Indiana Office of School Safety. This opened earlier this summer. Smith told us the goal here is to be proactive, collaborative, and relentlessly focused on the well-being of every Hoosier student. Smith's background is in law enforcement. She's a sergeant with the Columbus Police Department, and she's worked for more than a decade as a school resource officer, even serving as a national instructor for other resource officers.
We will spend some face time. We are going to build trust and put out best practice recommendations on a regular basis to make sure we're doing it right when it comes to school safety in Indiana.
This new office will head up safety training, maintain standards, and formulate emergency responses for schools. Right now, police in Greenwood are looking for the person or people who vandalized a sign at a Hindu temple. When officers arrived yesterday, they say they found the sign spray painted with the message, "Death to Hindus, death to India, death to Prime Minister." Members of the temple held a group prayer today saying they are united against anti-religious behavior. Angela?
Scott, still tracking some rain and thunder on live Doppler 13 radar. I want to give you several close-up views. We will start south of Indianapolis, where we have heavy rain and some lightning. Ellettsville to Bloomington, south to Bedford, and some stronger cells beginning to develop south and east in between Columbus and Greensburg. Also a few storms beginning to develop in the eastern part of the state near Richmond, Connorsville, and Liberty. It's a steady light rain that's falling across a good part of Marion County. Rain and still a little bit of thunder, Logansport over toward Peru into Kokomo. We will eventually see this weaken as this line of rain and storms moves from west to east over the next couple of hours. If you're headed to the State Fair tomorrow, we're expecting another warm one, highs in the 80s.